Hello, Oasis kids, families, and good morning. Look at it. It's another Sunday that we get to hang out together. Thank you so much for taking some time to join us today. Quick question for you. Have you ever had a week where something just didn't quite go your way? And then all of a sudden it was like, bam! You're thrown off your game completely. You had fun stuff planned, you had great things going on, and this one bad thing just messed all of it up. Well, when that happens, it helps me to be able to remember that even in our hard times, we're still a part of God's story. Just like Joseph from last week. You remember the story of Joseph last week? Yeah, the Bible tells us that God is always with us. It can be good times, it can be hard times, no matter what, God is with us. In fact, this week, we're going to hear about someone who didn't really think that he could do what God asked him to do. Partly because what God asked him to do was really hard, but also part because he just didn't think he was good enough for it. But before we get into that story, you know what we have to do, right? That's right, we get to worship together, guys. So let's get ready to sing, dance. Mom, dad, family, jump up on your feet. Let's have a great time worshiping God this morning.
Brand new sound, so get everybody talking, yeah. We won't stop, we won't wait, we'll stand and sing our Savior's name, our Savior's name. Sing it out, sing it out, sing it out, Jesus is alive right now. Whoa, sing it out, sing it out, sing it out, Jesus is alive right now. Whoa, whoa. Death couldn't beat him, nothing could hold him down. Our God conquered the grave, so come on now, make it loud. Everybody shout it out, Jesus is alive right now. Sing it out, sing it out, sing it out, Jesus is alive right now. Whoa, sing it out, sing it out, sing it out, Jesus is alive right now. We won't stop, we won't wait, we'll stand and sing the Savior's name. We won't stop, we
God's story, Moses. So part of God's story is about a guy named Moses, and it begins like this. When Moses was born, God's special family, the Israelites, were living in Egypt as slaves. But there were so many Israelites that Pharaoh, Egypt's ruler, was afraid they might attack him. So he ordered that they work extra hard and made a law that all new baby boys had to be killed. Well, baby Moses' mom didn't want him to die, so she came up with a plan. She put him in a waterproof basket and hid it in the Nile River. Before long, Pharaoh's daughter, the princess, showed up. She found the basket and realized Moses was one of the babies her dad was trying to kill. But instead of hurting Moses, she adopted him. He grew up in the palace like a prince. Now Moses should have felt really special and loved, but he felt bad that his people were slaves while he lived in the palace. So he ran away and tried to help them. Problem is, they didn't want a prince around. Moses didn't feel like he belonged anywhere, so he ran away again. This time, he went to a place called Midian. There, he married a lady named Zipporah and worked for her dad, Jethro. One day, he was taking care of Jethro's sheep when he saw a bush on fire. As Moses looked more closely, the inside of the bush called out, "Moses, Moses." Kids, would you answer a burning bush that yells your name? Well, Moses did. He said, "Here I am." Then the bush introduced itself. It was God appearing as fire. And God told Moses that he could see how his family was suffering as slaves. Since God loves his family, he wanted to rescue them through Moses. Now you'd think Moses would be excited since he had wanted to help his people, but he wasn't. He didn't think he was special enough to get a job from God. He said, "Why me?" God reminded him, "I'll be with you." He even told Moses exactly what to say to the Egyptians. But Moses didn't think anyone would believe that God had appeared to a regular guy like him, a guy who didn't even belong anywhere. So God gave Moses 3 miracles to prove that God was with him. First, God let Moses turn his staff into a snake and back. Next, Moses put his hand in his cloak. It came out with leprosy. Then he did it again to cure it. Finally, God showed Moses how to turn water into blood. But even after God showed him all this, Moses was still afraid that nobody would listen to him. "I don't talk well," he said. "I stutter and stammer." Then God asked Moses, "Who makes a man able to talk? God is the one who makes us." And he wanted Moses to remember that and trust him. But Moses begged, "Please, send anybody else." Fortunately, God loves us even when we're afraid to trust him and we don't realize how special we are to him. He let Moses bring his brother Aaron along to do the talking. After that, Moses finally realized he belonged in God's family. He didn't have to run away anymore, so he obeyed God and followed him. He took his wife and sons to Egypt to tell the Israelites that God was going to rescue them. The Israelites believed that God was with Moses, and they were so excited to be rescued that they worshiped God right away. And that's the story of Moses. So in case you missed it, here's the quick version. God's family lived in Egypt. They were slaves. Pharaoh said baby boys must die. Moses' mom had a plan. Moses was adopted. He ran away. Moses returned to his people. He ran away. God appeared as fire. Moses argued with God. Finally, Moses obeyed. He knew he belonged in God's family. And that's a part of God's story.
Wow. How awesome is it that God chose Moses? Just an average, everyday, normal person like you and me. See, Moses wasn't sure that he could actually do what God asked him to do. But as soon as he started to trust God, he realized that God would lead him through all of it. See, much like Moses, we sometimes feel like we can't do what God asks us to do. However, we can talk to God just like Moses did and ask for his guidance, and God will lead us through it. In fact, that's today's big idea. Will you guys repeat this after me? We can trust God to lead us. It's so wonderful to know that we get to be a part of God's family and that we can trust him with anything and everything. Thank you so much, Oasis Kids, and thank you so much, families, for taking a few minutes to hang out with us, spend some time to learn more about God's story. Now, Mom and Dad, you should have got an email earlier this week that had some really cool resources in it that you can use throughout the rest of this week to continue this conversation about God leading us. If for some reason you didn't get that email, it's okay. All you have to do is go check out kidsloveoasis.com, and there's a resource link right under the video. Click that link, download the resources, and use them this week to keep this conversation going so that you can learn together. Listen, we can't wait to see you next Sunday, but until then, you guys have a great week, and we'll see you next time. Bye.